Welcome to Lucid Sigma Female. I like to start my day with a quote. Here's one to take home. She remembered who she was, and the game changed. Layla Delia. Beautiful people, welcome to another powerful video. Today, we're diving into the world of Sigma females. Those rare, extraordinary women who defy stereotypes and break the mold. They walk their path with quiet confidence, relentless independence, and an aura of unshakable strength. But let's face it, the world doesn't always welcome women like this with open arms. Society has a funny way of trying to tear down what it doesn't understand. People will criticize, manipulate, and scheme to break a Sigma female spirit. But here's the kicker, they always fail. So, in this video, we'll uncover the 10 ways people try to break Sigma females and why they never succeed. We'll break each point down with real-life examples, quotes from thought leaders, and insights to inspire you to embrace your inner Sigma power. And don't forget, beautiful people, if this resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe to join our unstoppable community. Let's get into it. Number 1. Emotional manipulation? Not today. Emotional manipulation is the oldest trick in the book. People try to exploit emotions to make Sigma females feel guilty or doubt themselves. They'll say things like, "You've changed," or "You're being selfish." But as Brené Brown, the queen of emotional resilience, reminds us, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. Sigma females live by this mantra. They know their boundaries are sacred, and emotional manipulators find themselves hitting a brick wall. For example, imagine a colleague trying to guilt trip her into taking on extra work by playing the sympathy card. Instead of falling for it, she'll calmly say, "I can't take that on right now," without over-explaining or apologizing. This ability to detach emotionally isn't about being cold. It's about protecting their energy. Sigma females understand that emotions can be a weapon, and they refuse to let anyone wield that weapon against them. Number 2. Gossip and social isolation. Good luck with that. Here's a scenario. A group of coworkers starts whispering behind her back, hoping to isolate her or damage her reputation. Why? Because they think cutting her off from social validation will make her crumble. But guess what? Sigma females thrive in solitude. They're the ultimate lone wolves. Susan Cain, author of Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking, emphasizes that solitude isn't a weakness, it's a strength. Cain writes, "Solitude is a catalyst for innovation." Instead of worrying about the gossip, the Sigma female uses her time alone to reflect, recharge, and plan her next move. And when she re-emerges, her critics realize they've only made her stronger. Beautiful people, a Sigma female doesn't need a tribe to validate her worth. She validates herself. Number 3. Criticism? Oh, she eats that for breakfast. Criticism is one of the most common weapons people use against strong women. They'll say, "You're too much," or "Why can't you just be normal?" But as Eleanor Roosevelt famously said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Sigma females internalize this truth. When someone critiques her independence or ambition, she doesn't crumble. Instead, she evaluates the feedback. If it's constructive, she uses it to grow. If it's baseless, she lets it roll off her back like water off a duck's feathers. Take Serena Williams as an example. Throughout her career, she's faced harsh criticism, some of it blatantly unfair. But instead of letting it derail her, she channels it into her game, proving again and again why she's one of the greatest athletes of all time. Sigma females adopt the same mentality. Criticism doesn't break them, it builds them. Number 4. Playing the victim card. She sees right through it. Have you ever encountered someone who tries to manipulate by playing the victim? They'll say things like, "You're so independent it's making me feel left out," hoping to guilt a Sigma female into prioritizing their needs over her own. But as Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a leading expert on narcissistic behavior, points out, the hallmark of emotional manipulation is making you feel responsible for someone else's emotions. Sigma females are far too self-aware to fall for this tactic. For example, imagine a friend constantly complaining that she's too busy to hang out. A Sigma female will listen empathetically but won't rearrange her entire schedule to accommodate someone who refuses to respect her time. She knows how to support others without losing herself in the process. Number 5. Undermining her achievements? Nice try. You just got lucky? Or, do you really think you can handle this? These subtle digs are designed to plant seeds of doubt in her mind. But Sigma females are impervious to such tactics because they don't seek external validation. Angela Duckworth, author of Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, highlights the importance of self-confidence in overcoming obstacles. She writes, "Enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare." Sigma females embody this endurance. Picture someone trying to downplay her career success by saying, "You must have had help." She won't argue or defend herself. Instead, she'll let her work do the talking. Beautiful people, when you're grounded in your truth, no one can take your shine. Number 6. Using relationships as chains? Not happening. One common tactic is trying to tether a Sigma female through relationships. They'll say things like, "If you loved me, you'd sacrifice this," hoping to guilt her into compliance. But Sigma females understand what Esther Perel, a renowned psychotherapist, calls the delicate balance between autonomy and connection. They value relationships, but never at the expense of their independence. For instance, if a partner tries to control her career choices, she'll calmly but firmly set boundaries. She's not afraid to walk away from relationships that stifle her growth. Sigma females know that true love supports freedom, not control. Number 7. Testing her patience? She's unbothered. Petty provocations are a classic strategy. People will push her buttons, hoping to get a reaction. They'll say things like, "Why are you so serious all the time?" or deliberately undermine her ideas in meetings. But as Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Sigma females take this philosophy to heart. Instead of reacting, she remains calm and composed. For example, in a heated argument, she won't raise her voice or stoop to insults. She'll simply say, "Let's revisit this when we're both calmer," leaving her antagonist fuming and powerless. Number 8. Trying to outshine her? Big mistake. Competition is inevitable, especially when someone as magnetic as a Sigma female enters the room. But here's where people fail. They focus so much on outshining her that they lose sight of their own goals. Sigma females, on the other hand, are laser-focused on their own path. As Simon Sinek puts it, the goal is not to be better than the other man, but your previous self. This mindset is why she wins every time. Instead of competing, she collaborates. Instead of tearing others down, she lifts herself up. And when the dust settles, she's always steps ahead because she never let herself be distracted by petty rivalries. Number 9. Shaming her choices? She couldn't care less. "You're too ambitious. Why don't you just settle down?" These shame tactics are meant to make Sigma females doubt their unconventional choices. But as Glennon Doyle writes in Untamed, "The braver we are, the luckier we get." Sigma females live by this truth. They know that following societal norms is overrated, and the only opinion that matters is their own. Imagine someone criticizing her for choosing a career over starting a family. Instead of justifying herself, she simply says, "This is what's right for me," and keeps it moving. Beautiful people, shaming a Sigma female is like trying to douse a fire with gasoline. It only makes her burn brighter. Number 10. Breaking her spirit? Impossible. The ultimate goal of anyone trying to break a Sigma female is to crush her spirit. But here's the secret. Her strength isn't external, it's internal. As Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning, wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." Sigma females embody this resilience. No matter what life throws at her, failure, heartbreak, betrayal, she finds a way to rise. Her spirit isn't just unbreakable, it's indomitable. Beautiful people, the world might try to tear down Sigma females, but they'll always fail because these women are built differently. They're resilient, self-aware, and unapologetically themselves. If this inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Let's all embrace these powerful qualities and live life on our own terms. Having said this, stay unstoppable, and I'll see you in the next video.